How Madaki. Welcome to Hóčhoka here at the center of St. Joseph's Indian Schools campus. I'm your host, Scott Wooster, and I'm so glad today that joining me are a couple of good friends of mine, Stephen and Robbie Chapman. It's good to have you guys
Oh my
here.
gosh, man. Thank y'all for having us on here. We're super excited about it.
Absolutely. We've been blessed with rain recently, lots of good green grass here, and everything's growing here in June. Got a mower going outside here, so if you guys hear that through the cameras, you'll know what's happening, and it's a blessing, not a curse. You guys were on in the very infancy of this program for a brief bit, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
just did a tiny little bit that talked about what you guys do, and I didn't even say it in the introduction about what you guys do here on campus. Why don't you just tell me about what your job is here on campus and introduce that for the folks?
We work with 4th through 6th grade boys in Fisher Home. We've been there 5 years, but altogether we've been here house parenting for 8 years.
Okay, and there's the title. Is that your house parents here at St. Joe's, working as a husband-wife team in one of the homes, and you are 6-day house?
6-day house
and always have been?
No, we were 3 days in the little kids' home for 3 years.
Okay.
Yep.
And often when somebody comes to start the job here, they often get put into the 3-day position.
It just
depends.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a step back and tell us briefly where you're from and what in the world drew you. You could tell by the accents you ain't from around here.
No,
not at all. Not even a little bit.
Southern for definitely. I'm from Louisiana. He's from Mississippi.
Yeah, I was born in Mississippi, raised in Mississippi. We got my dad's family's from Louisiana. We moved to Louisiana when I was in high school, and then after high school, we started dating, got married, and
then I have a cousin here that works in high school program, and she's the one that introduced us to St. Joe's.
Yeah, and so we came and been here 8 years.
And
hopefully we'll retire from here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's such a leap of faith for someone to come here from so far away. I think.
Oh my gosh, it was her when we flew up for our interview. We didn't tell anybody we were flying up here, I had never flown before, so we were like, what are we going to do? We got on the airplane, we flew up here, and when we got back, we had told her grandmother about it, and her grandmother's like, good as gold, sweetest old Southern lady you ever met in your life. She said, y'all need to leave my house right now. So she kicked us. She was so mad at us. She made us leave her house.
But my mom was actually mad at me because I'm like the daughter that takes care of everything.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad actually did not talk to me for 6 months because they were so mad at me.
For coming across the country to work up here.
And then they came up. They came and visited and found out the place was real, for one thing. They were like, we need to make sure this place is a real place, middle of nowhere, South Dakota. We need to find out it's real. And they came up, visited us, and they're like, okay, we love it.
And now my mom's like, I've been praying about it for 8 years, and she loves that we are up here doing the
we were just
good
there
work.
3 or 4 days ago. We just came back from Louisiana. We went down and seen her and stuff, and we were leaving, and she's like, usually it's so hard to watch y'all leave. She said, but now I know y'all are going somewhere where you're happy and you love what you're doing, and y'all have kind of built a little family and a little tribe here and stuff, and love what you do. So she's like, it's easier to see y'all go. She goes, it's hard, of course, to watch y'all leave or whatever. Know you've got to drive across the country and stuff. She said, but it's great knowing that you're going somewhere where you're loved and you love what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I would have to say I've known you guys since pretty close to the day you walked in the door here. Did you say 5 or 6 years ago?
8 years.
8 years
but
ago?
We've been 5 years in Fisher Home.
Yes, okay. So 8 years ago.
Yes.
So, but you came in with this kind of enthusiasm that obviously hasn't waned in 8 years of being here, which is great. I mean, you walked in the door wanting to do this job. What was it, what could it have been that you came for your interview that they said to you about what this job would be that made you go, this is what I want to do?
We don't have kids of our own.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so getting to work with kids, we both knew that in some aspect of our life we wanted to work with kids.
Okay.
She'd worked at a daycare before. I youth pastored and worked with kids, worked summer camps and stuff. And we were like, we know we want to work with kids. And I didn't want to. I thought about teaching school. Didn't really like that. So I was like, we wanted to do something. And then when they told us what we were going to get to do, and we get, like a teacher schedule, we get the time off and stuff to get to go home and visit and do and travel. And that kind of kind of sealed the deal. We were like, kind of like every other person you talk to at St. Joe's who's been here longer than a few years. We're going to give it 1 year, and then
and
you know,
then it's
Me
8
too.
years
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
6 months.
yeah,
I actually have a criminal justice degree because I was going to be a police officer, but it changed when Tia, my cousin, introduced me to this, and I love it, and I'm so glad I changed careers.
Yeah, it becomes a calling. It becomes
Yes.
something that you're going to do for life.
Yeah.
Which is great. So let's talk a little bit about exactly what the position is. You're 6-day house parents now. Explain to our folks that might not know what a 6-day and 3-day mean. That's our lingo, but what does that mean exactly?
So as the 6-day, you're kind of in charge of, like, you're the main house parents in the home. I mean, the 3 days still have equal responsibilities and stuff in the home. Everything's split 2/3, 1/3, budgets and everything we do. But as the 6-day, you're the one, you kind of set the tone. You set the tone of the home. You get to do the main planning and stuff with everything. You also are the ones who are, if there's big meetings and stuff with the kids, you're the ones who are kind of not required to go, but more insinuated to go than the 3 days sometimes, depending on what the meeting's about. And then when we're off for our 3 days off and our 3 days come in as our relief, then they get to run the home how they want to run the home. And they get to do what they want to do in the home as well. And then we just work a normal, I mean, it's almost like being a parent. You know, we get up in the mornings with them. We do, you know, we get up at 6:30 to do our chores or charges or home contributions. Every home kind of calls it something a little different. And then
Breakfast
we have breakfast and going about our day. We're off from 9 to about 2 during the day. So we go home, we go have coffee with friends. We have dogs, we have to go home and let our dogs out. If it's pretty weather, Robbie go put her kayak in the river for a little while, make a rider side by side or something, just kind of kill time during the day. About 2 o'clock we come back. Robbie usually goes into the home, gets home stuff ready. She's making snacks. She's kind of making sure the home's welcoming and ready for the kids.
He goes to school and groceries.
Yeah, I go to the grocery and I go to the school.
You meet with the teachers, see how the day was for the kids that work.
You also do that in the mornings.
Yeah.
So I do morning and he does evening.
Okay.
So we split it up that way.
Yep.
And then just in the evenings, it's just like if you've got regular kids, if you've got sports practice, we're doing sport practice. We're doing homework. We're getting ready for the night. We're talking about issues. We're, doing just normal parenting stuff. And then
with 12 kids.
Yeah, with 12 kids. That was my other question was how many kids
12.
Up to 12
do you have in the home? 12 is a lot of kids.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but you get used to it.
Yeah, I suppose you do. Yeah. What's the hardest part about being a house parent for you guys?
For me, it's sending our 6th graders on.
Yes.
You have them for 3 years, and you build that relationship, and you build that connection with them, and then you've got to send them on to the next home.
Yeah.
And that gets pretty hard, especially this last year. We had 6th graders.
Yes,
and it was a group.
Every one of them hugged me and cried, and I cried with them because I didn't want them to go.
Yeah.
That one's probably one of the
But
hardest parts.
thankfully, they're just across the street from us, so they come over anytime we have leftovers. We're like, we'll stand outside. Hey, we have leftovers, and 7th, 8th grade boys and girls will come over and eat with us and stuff. So.
Yeah, you don't lose touch with those kids.
No,
it's
not
not
at
like
all.
they're headed
Not
to
at
the
all.
moon. But,
Yeah.
but it's still a big thing when you're living with them day to day. You talk about there's an intimacy about being a house parent, I think, where you're waking that kid up in the morning.
Yes.
You're seeing the kids at their best. You're seeing the kids at the worst.
Yeah.
All those things. And if done right, it should be truly done like a family.
Yeah.
Do you get that feel from
Yes,
what
and
you do?
we also invite their families as much as possible to come and eat with us, or if we have any leftovers, if the 7th, 8th grader hasn't eaten all of it and say like their parent or guardian comes and checks them out, we always send food home with them.
Yep. I think that hospitality part is a big thing about house parenting too. When it's done right, you're not only are the kids part of what you do they feel loved and feel that relationship in the home, but their families feel the same way too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to trust somebody you don't know, somebody from, gee whiz, from Mississippi and Louis. Did you say Mississippi?
Yeah, Louisiana. It's
and
actually
Louisiana.
1,200 miles away.
Yeah. For to work with your kids sight unseen.
Oh, yeah.
And put that trust in them. There has to be a way that you can welcome the families in and make them feel like we're worthy of taking care of your kids and want to be a part of a team with you guys.
And that's also a huge shout out to the organization as itself, that we've established ourselves enough to where, and the parents trust us enough to where they know that we've got quality people in the homes working and stuff, to where they can feel safe and feel the need to want to leave their kids and stuff with us. So it's pretty awesome on that part.
Well, that's the longevity piece of it too. You put 8 years in and you start to know people, they get to know you, they know what to expect, how to trust you, and like you said, if you stay for life, it just that just grows and grows over time. Best part of being a house parent, what do you love about this job more than anything else?
Oh, the kids.
Yeah. It's always the kids.
Doing stuff with the kids, seeing them, watch them grow as we get them in as little 4th graders who are, coming out of the 1st through 3rd grades homes, getting that little bit of independence they get in our homes, and the little extra responsibilities and stuff they have, how they kind of struggle with it at the beginning, and getting to teach and kind of mold them and get them to where they are.
When they're in 6th grade, they're independent, and then they're like our leaders in the home, and they help us out more and more.
Yeah.
And
then as they get older, we've got guys now who are 10th, 11th graders and stuff, and getting to go see them and get to see them do stuff. And I'm like, the foundation work that we got to do with them and work with them and teach them when they were younger is now getting to see how it's built them into young men and young women as they got older and stuff. So that's
and the cool thing is this 8th grade graduation, we had how many boys?
Every 8th grade boy that graduated this year, we've house parented.
Oh,
Every
wow.
one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. From 1st through 3rd grade to 7th and 8th grade. Or 4th through 6th, we house parented
all of
every
those
and
guys.
There was one guy that we had 1st through 3rd grade, and then he moved up with us in Fisher Home, so we had him for 6 years.
Yeah, and then passed him on. Yeah.
Yes.
And so just for our audience, I pick those guys up when they become 7th graders, because I don't work with the 1st through 6th. And so I get to counsel those guys or be their FSC, family service counselor, when they go 7th through 12th grade. So there's that continuum that's a lot of fun. But again, you're never too far away from those kids. Those relationships are maintained.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at 8th grade graduation this year when the kids are giving their video speeches at the beginning. They're probably saying, hey, I would like to thank my house parents, Robbie and Steven, for what they've done for me when I was in their home. It's pretty rewarding to be able to do that.
Oh, my God. And our boss will tell us all the time, this is a very thankless job. And it really is, because a lot of the stuff we do, there's nobody coming and telling us thank you for. There's nobody, you're not. And that to us is those thank yous. That's the stuff that means the world to us, is getting those things where we got to see them grow and see them. And then when they get older and they look back and they realize, oh, okay, this was cool. Like, the stuff you did with us really did help us as we got older and stuff. So.
Yeah, for all of the ones that we knew, I wrote a letter to them. But then in the back of the letter, all the pictures I had of them together, I put on one picture so they can have all the memories that we had with them.
What do you find the most gratifying what you've done? What do you get back from this? You give into it, and what do you get back from being here?
For us, I guess the most gratifying part is getting to see the fruits of our labor as they get older, getting to see the stuff we taught them, the stuff that we, got to live through with them. Like, we've had several kids who's had family members pass away, and we get to kind of walk that road with them. And then we get to see how that continues to carry on as they get older. And when the older guys come back, and I'm sitting on the porch with the younger, our normal guys outside playing, and I got older guys coming across to ask me, he's like, hey, I need some advice with this, whether it's relationship advice, whether it's just general life advice or whatever, where they get to come back and they're like, okay, it's for us, it's like, okay, we built a relationship enough with this kid that they want to come back and visit with us and stuff is huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
No.
Let me ask this, because we're running out of time, but any story, without naming a kid, anything that's been extremely special to you that's touched your heart in some way?
There's a lot
there's
of them.
So many.
There's so
I
many.
know there's so many.
So a few years ago, Robbie's dad passed away in a tragic car accident, leaving South Dakota, and we were gone for 2 months or so or better. And the boys we had called us, checked in on us and stuff, and they were using the regular home phone and calling us and checking on us, seeing how we were doing and stuff. And then when we got back, they almost threw us like a little welcome back party and stuff for us to get to welcome us back. And the boys like surrounded Robbie and were hugging on her.
The biggest
and
hug ever.
Yeah,
and
loving
they
on her
were
and
all
stuff.
like happy and glad we were back, and they were so worried we weren't going to come back, and I told them there was no way I couldn't come back because these are great kids. Like I love working with the kids.
Yeah.
And
that was probably our most. I mean, our. Yeah, probably one of our most special moments.
They did like
here.
cards and everything. They
had stuff. They had decorations in the house for us. It was pretty awesome to come back.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great, and it speaks to something that I've learned that I know you guys, in just telling that story, we have this in common, that you come here and you expect. I don't know what you expect.
Yeah.
You really don't know what to expect. You know, you talked about staying for a year or for a small amount of time, and there's something when you do it right that kind of creeps in where it becomes your home to you,
definitely.
and I think you guys have found that out. But you expect to give these kids something, to serve them in a way and to do things for them, and you find out that they're teaching you and they're
just
giving
as
you
much all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We learn more from the kids than they'll ever teach us.
Yeah. And you say that they're part of your family. They say the same thing about you, and walking with you through your trials, that's a big part of that.
Oh yeah, and the way they ask and they visit us about they'll genuinely ask about our families as well. Like when we'll come back from Christmas or something, and they're like, "What did your niece and nephews? What did y'all get them for Christmas?" And we'll show them pictures, and then what they got, and then they want to know if anybody's doing something. We'll talk about our nieces that are in college and stuff now, or working, and they're like, "Oh, how's their jobs going? What are they doing?" You know, they keep in check, and they want to talk to Robbie's mom just as much as.
Well, she has chickens, and so she'll like say, "Here, chickie," or whatever, and you can hear she has like 50 chickens, and they just come and they're like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Her mom will video us, and like she's calling her little chicken army, and the kids just love that. They'll talk to they want to talk to my dad like he's their grandpa. You know, they want to call and talk to see how he's doing and stuff. So.
But the real question is, they always ask, when I'm 18 and I graduate, can I come visit? Like they want to come to Louisiana.
They're
and
curious.
we tell them all the time, as long as it's okay with your guardians, as long as you're graduated and you're on your own, you can come anytime.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That's the spirit of Tioshpe. It's the spirit of Mitakuye Uyasin. We're all related, and if you're doing it right, you're going to get that out of it. And what I'll say to you two before we sign off is, you're doing it right. There's two things that are so important that I'm struck by today. One is the longevity. Being here for 8 years is actually a long time in that field, and I don't care where you are, St. Joe's or any other residential program. That commitment that you guys have made to these families is one of the biggest impacts you can have. And the other one is, obviously, I think it's going to come across on the screen as much as it does in this room, but your presence, your enthusiasm, just how much you care. These kids have to see that. I see it here in this studio, so I know that they see that too. So thank you for being here, for making the choice to come here, for the choice to stay here, and just for loving these kids so much. It's such a wonderful thing. So thank you.
Thank y'all for giving us the opportunity.
To do it.
Absolutely. And thank you for being here in the studio too.
Yeah, thank y'all for having us.
So our folks in our audience can see what you're all about. That's very cool. And thank you to our audience, of course, for joining us here at Hóčhoka at the center of St. Joseph's Indian School campus, where we talk about issues that are critical to Native American education today. And you know where to find us on wherever you get your podcasts. You can come hear incredible stories like the ones that these guys laid on us today. So until next time, stay centered.